precaution is that there are three types of deck owners. Those who like their decks natural, nothing on it, just bare wood. Secondly, those who like to stain their deck. And thirdly, those who like to paint their deck. Now, if you happen to be one of those deck owners that love to stain your deck, just a little bit of precaution that applying this, it looks more like a paint than a stain. So I noticed after it dried, it tended to sit on the surface, and this is just the edge here of the paint bucket fixture, but it actually sits on the surface of the deck rather than penetrate the wood. So just be cautious that if you're one that wants to have a stained deck and feel that that's the way to go, just a little bit of precaution that this looks and applies more as a paint rather than a deck stain. Hi, we just did the deck with some Behr DeckOver deck, and let's show you how it came out. I'm not too pleased with it. This is the first application. Show you, this is where we started from, what the deck looked like before, and then as you come back you can see the Behr's finish on here. Looks pretty good so far until we get to this outer area away from the house. You can see all these white spots. Again, this is the first coat. They said 2 coats, but I've used other deck paints before and never had this type of bad results. So this is forcing me to have to put on a second coat. You can see right there where I worked around that area. The next saga on this Behr's DeckOver. As you know, I purchased this from Home Depot. Came out one morning, temperature was roughly in the low 60s, high 50s. I applied it onto basically 3/4 of my deck and let it dry, and hopefully the next day would be okay. But as you've seen on the video, it came out and I had blotches and didn't really know where that came from. So I quickly called Behr 1-800 number and was complaining about this, and they were very responsive, and they listened to my problem, and what they offered to do was give me a gallon of Behr's cleaner and another gallon of DeckOver, which is fine. I appreciated that, and that should be coming in the mail shortly, and I'm going to apply that. Now, after I complained to Behr, it rained overnight, and I went out and looked at the deck, and to my surprise, those blotches had disappeared. So maybe it's something in the DeckOver itself that leaves a residue that you just have to take the effort to wash off. Now, they did mention to me that possibly try some soap and water, and you know, again, that's some extra effort to do, but it appears by just from the simple moderate rain the night before and looking at it the next morning, all those residuals went away. So as soon as this additional DeckOver arrives, I'm going to put the second coat on, and I'll be showing you videos and let you see how that turned out. And again, my biggest concern is that, you know, this lasts through the winter. I live in the Midwest, so we have some severe winters and moderately hot summers. And I'm just curious if this is going to last 10 years. I doubt that, but I would be happy if it lasts 5 years. But I did look online at some of the YouTube videos that other people had done, and some had good results and some had bad results. And one of the things I got out of that was the fact that this is more of a cover rather than a stain. So next thing, I'll show you how it looks after I put the second coat on. A second precaution with Behr's DeckOver is that, again, I applied this first coat, and one morning temperature in the low 60s, upper 50s, and I had excessive amounts of skin over in my roller pan and also in my gallon container, and I was a little bit of concern with that, knowing that the temperature wasn't really hot. And I could imagine that as the summer days approach and someone decides to do this in the middle of summertime when the sun is beating down, there's a possibility that this stuff can skin over even quicker. So just a precaution. Okay, as you see, I finished the deck. Did the entire deck. Put 2 coats on everything. Here's what's left of my paint, or DeckOver as they call it. And here's the cleaner that I used. But it looks real nice. 2 coats. And I do understand when they said 2 coats. The first coat was a little dull. As I was applying the second coat, it dried. It had a little bit more sheen to it. However, one of the things I noticed is it's still not as smooth as other deck applications, and it tends, or it looks like it's going to hold a lot of dust and trash. Here's a good example. But it looks nice. Wash it down, and I think I'm pretty satisfied with it. Again, you'll be hearing from me maybe this time next year after we go through the complete summer and also a full winter, and be able to report on the results of this. This is Bob the Builder. Talk to you later. If you like this channel, please hit the subscribe button. But we would appreciate a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and we'll try to keep them coming. Thank you.